Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, from Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, it's time for the PLE Event Center, where our host talks about the results from a WWE PLE event. And now here's the man to bring you all the results from the PLE event himself, Eric M. Lima. Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans, 1977 episode 2486. We are 14 episodes away from 2,500 episodes. NXT Heatwave is over, ladies and gentlemen, and it seems like a lot got around. Now, I was watching the Red Sox-Yankee game, and unfortunately, the Red Sox are down 5-2 in the bottom of the seventh. So, but if the Red Sox can get 3 or 4 more runs, can get 4 or 5 runs, Red Sox could end up sweeping the Yankees. But right now, listen, if they lose this game, 3 to 4 is not that bad. Hey, hopefully it doesn't start a downward trend for the Red Sox. But we'll find out in the meantime after this. So it doesn't matter because the Red Sox have dominated the season series against the Yankees. That's all I got to say about that. But will that translate into playoffs? Well, we'll find out for sure. Or even an East or AL East title? We'll know for sure. We'll find out later on as September rolls around. Remember, this is the final full week of August we are in, as you know. Also, my final full week of the sabbatical, because a week from tomorrow I will be making my return to live streaming with the guys, Brandon, Jordan, William, and all that, in raw live reactions and rant and rave and chillin' with Jordy. And because I have a lot to get off my chest on the live stream. I need to get a lot on the live stream this coming Tuesday afternoon. I need to do that, so because there's a lot that's going on in my brain right now. But I'll save all that for Tuesday. But we're going to talk about NXT Heatwave. That's what we're going to do, and keep the momentum train rolling on this. We're going to have some fun, and let's do this. The number one triple threat match for the number one contendership for the NXT Women's Championship. Come to find out, at the No Mercy PLE event is where the NXT Women's title will be on the line. So, Jada Parker gets Kaylani versus Lola Vice, who has been on a roll. And that has been on a roll. And all three ladies fought out. They showed up, they showed out, and in the end, Lola Vice is now the number one contender to the NXT Women's Championship. JC Jane will defend that title unless she loses it earlier. But unless she loses it down the road before No Mercy. Now, right now, Lola Vice is now the number one contender to that championship. Meanwhile, the Culling addresses the NQCC as this coming Tuesday, Izzy Dame and Tatum Paxley of the Culling will be facing Ren Sinclair and a partner of her choosing. And if Ren Sinclair found a partner, who is it? Is it somebody from TNA? Is it somebody from AAA? Is it somebody from Evolve or even from LFG? We'll find out this coming Tuesday on NXT. The NXT Tag Team titles on the line. Hank and Ted defending against Dark State. And the two members that were chosen to be representing Dark State in the tag team title match will be none other than Dion Lennox and Osiris Griffin, two of the big guys in that ring. And the other two members, Cutler James and Shaquan Sugars, got involved during the matchup, and they took advantage of the numbers game, and unfortunately the numbers game caught up with Hank and Tank, as we have new NXT Tag Team Champions in Dark State. So that means the Freebird rule can be in full effect too, as you know, any two of the 4 members of Dark State can defend those titles. Well, right now it is Lennox and Griffin that are the champions. So that could change. Abel confronts Lexis King about what he did to Miles Bourne. And so, this coming Tuesday, Ava's made the match with Miles Bourne. Will go one-on-one with Lexis King in a blindfold match. We haven't seen a blindfold match since, wow. I know WrestleMania 7, I remember, was one, Jake the Snake Roberts versus Rick Martel. But I think it was another blindfold match that happened. I forget when. I forget when that happened. I think Grayson Waller was part of that. Grayson Waller and Apollo Crews was part of that blindfold match. I don't really know now. But I know there was a blindfold match that happened recently. Anyways, the TNA Knockouts title on the line in a triple threat. JC Jane to defend it against Ash by Elegance and Monta Slamovich. Now, Monta Slamovich at a disadvantage because both JC Jane and Ash by Elegance have backup in their corner. JC Jane has Jasmine Nix and Fallon Henley. And Fatal Influence has her back. And then you got Ash by Elegance with M and Heather by Elegance. And along with the personal concierge, George Iceman, in her corner. Monta Slamovich doesn't have an ally. But Fatal Influence, Carl Silva is in attendance on the TNA president to see this matchup. And Fatal Influence got caught being involved as Jasmine Nix hits Ash by Elegance, and the referee caught them. Now, they were ejected from ringside. There's no disqualification in a triple threat match, you ding-dong referee. But, unfortunately, Fatal Influence got ejected, and the Elegance brand took advantage of that situation, ended up getting involved during the matchup, and finally, we have a new TNA Knockouts champion. For the first Knockouts World Champion for the first time, Ash by Elegance has won the title. Now the title is back in TNA. Ricky Sage talks to Javon Evans about the endorsement from The Undertaker and the championship matchup, and Ricky Sage says he's got next, basically, to Javon Evans. Jordan Grace went one-on-one with Blake Monroe, and, Blake Monroe may be beautiful and glamorous, but she can be downright mean. And she does whatever it took to defeat Jordan Grace by exposing one of the turnbuckles at the bottom turnbuckle, ran Jordan Grace's head in it because the referee did not see it, and Blake Monroe ended up winning the matchup. I think a big win over Jordan Grace that could put her in ahead in the rankings for a chance to become the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship. But that contendership that number one spot belongs to Lola Vice. Jada Parker was complaining to one of the trainers about she had the match won and stuff, and then Lash Legend comes out and she starts running her mouth, and then both women arguing, and referees and security separate the two ladies from doing all that. Lola Vice, Sarah Schreiber was interviewed Fatal Influence as they lost, as JC Jane lost the TNA Knockouts title, but then she yells at Jasmine Nix, says, "Don't put this on me, yada, 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 it wasn't my fault." And then she turns over to Fallon Henley. Henley says, "Don't go there with me." And then Lola Vice interrupts and says, "Hey, I got next at No Mercy." And then he goes, "Why don't you go back to AAA and play with your little iguana?" I'm like, oh boy. And then so Ruka and Zarya interrupt them, and then they start taunting, the Fatal Influence, and then Zarya acts like an interviewer, goes, "How does it feel, so Ruka being the only double champion in NXT?" He says, "It feels real good," and all that, and Fatal Influence walks away. So you got that. Then the mixed tag match, Tyra May Steele and Tavion Heights versus Chelsea Green and the NXT North American champion Ethan Page. Crazy part is they were booing Tyra May Steele. Was it trying to turn into the next Kurt Angle? Come on. But in the end, Chelsea Green, Ethan Page ended up winning the matchup as the Secret Herbers got involved during the match. Josh Briggs talks to Oba Femi, saying, "I got next, and if you retain that title, I'm getting my shot," he says. And then Sarah Schreiber was talking to Ava, and Ava made a few matches, and also announced some events. We have an NXT Homecoming to Full Sail University. Not only that, she's announced that both speed titles will be exclusive to NXT, which is a huge, huge deal. And I think now I think that seems fair. The speed titles can be defended on NXT, and she's making a matchup where somebody from Raw, SmackDown, AAA, and TNA to go at and NXT to go at it, and whoever wins that match will face Sol Ruca for the speed title, I believe, at No Mercy. So I think we should be on the lookout for that. As Sol Ruca and Zarya approach him, and Ava let Sol Ruca know what's up. Then the NXT title on the line, Oba Femi defending it against the young OG, that boy, bouncy, Javon Evans. And heck of a matchup. Javon Evans was close to winning the title one time, where the referee was counting to 3. The other referee says, no. Oba Femi's foot was on below the bottom rope. But Oba Femi took advantage of it, and took advantage of the fact that Javon Evans dived all over the tables and stuff. And Oba Femi retains the title, and out comes Ricky Saints, who wants to be the next challenger for the NXT Championship. Well, so new champions have been crowned in the Tag Team Championship and the TNA Knockouts title. That was great, and it was a lot of fun. It was a fun event to watch. Well, that's all the time we have on tonight's episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans, 1977, 2004, and 86. We're 14 episodes away. Now, starting tomorrow and the rest of this week, it'll be the final gameplays of all my Flash Game Show gameplays of August 2025. We're going to be, like I said, and for coming this Tuesday, off the regular Shenanigans, I'm going to start at 3 o'clock on this one so that other people will try to attend the live chat and stuff. I got a lot to get off my chest and what my thoughts are of the whole thing for August. So be on the lookout for that. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you on the next episode of the show. And until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, take us home. That is all for today's episode of the show. This is Mr. Announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E and do it for Bob Saget production, and in association with a Raving Bull for 3000 Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. See you later on the next episode of the show. Goodbye for now.